Stay at Home Dad, Chapter 34. I was given strict orders to lie around and relax. So I ate some toast and took a hot shower and got dressed slowly. Enough relaxing for me. I drove over to Delilah's to join my father and his pals for breakfast. More because I had a few questions than because I was hungry. He, Cedric, Sheldon, and George Gerald Gardner were at their usual table. My dad studied me as I approached them. You look fine. You look fine to me. A little uglier, Cedric said. Nah, he was always ugly, Sheldon said. Joe laughed into his coffee. I grabbed a chair at the table across from them and slid it over next to Cedric. Seriously, you guys are a riot. When I put you on the old folks' home, you'll be the life of the place. So, big words from a guy who fainted before his big confrontation with a bunch of mothers, Sheldon said, adjusting his glasses. I didn't faint. Somebody hit me. Sheldon peered over the top of his glasses. I know it's just funnier when I tell people you fainted. Getting assaulted makes it sound like you're some sort of tough guy. Tough guy who doesn't check behind him, my father said. Maybe you got hit with a purse, Cedric suggested, then bit into some crisp bacon. Someone with a heavy wallet. Maybe there was a makeup bag inside. Easy, gentleman, Gerald Cantner said. Deuce has had a rough couple of days. Judge Gerald Cantner was a reasonable one in my father's quartet of pals, short, thin, with a thick mop of dark hair on his head. He carried within the serious presence you expect in a judge. He was always polite, always thoughtful, and always the one people looked to when they needed the right answer. What he was doing with Huey, Dewey, and Louie, I wasn't sure. Judge, I say, offering my hand. Haven't seen you in a while. We shook, and he looked me right in the eye. Sorry about the troll, Deuce. Not much I can do, though. It's all right, Judge. Trolls are strange nuts. You can obtain me almost without cost, he explained. Someone comes in asking for one, it's awfully difficult to deny. So I could give one against any of these three? I asked, pointing a finger at the other three men. I'll grant those right now if you like. They all rolled their eyes and continued eating. I waved at Doris, the waitress, signaling for coffee, and she acknowledged me with a district nod. Can I ask what the reasoning was? I asked Gerald. For the restraining order, did she give a specific reason? The judge shook his head. No, and she didn't appear. Billy handled the request. That didn't surprise me. He seemed to be handling everything for her. He requested the order based on your visit, he said, folding up his napkin and laying it next to his plate. Said you showed up uninvited, wouldn't leave. And that's because she was under duress due to Benny's death. She did not want you returning. She called me, I said. He raised an eyebrow. Not the story I received. I pulled out my cell and scrolled through the received call logs. I didn't see Shayna's name, then it puzzled me at first. Then I saw the word restricted. The call name was restricted, I said, but that was her. The judge's lips twisted a bit, skepticism taking root. As someone who's known you your entire life, I believe you. As an officer of the court, I need more than that. My father stuck a fork in my direction. She got you again, you big dude. Again? He set his fork down on the edge of his plate, wiped his mouth, and gave me that look that made me feel like I was 10 years old and had screwed something up. Deuce, she was a pain in the behind when you penned her for her in high school, he said. She used you then and she's using you now. Back then I knew why. Because you were a star, she liked being along for the ride, and she thought that riding was taking her all the way to the top. When the ride came to a screeching halt, she nearly broke her ankles jumping off so fast. Her lips puckered like his eggs were filled with linens. This time, I don't know why, but I don't know what she's doing. But you can bet your behind she knew exactly what she was doing when she called you. Shayna has always been trouble in her pretty face. The men fell quiet. The other sounds of the restaurant dishes clinking, silverware clinking, and soft conversation filtered across the table. My father wasn't saying anything I didn't already know, but he had a way of saying things that bit into me. He knew it and I knew it, and it had been that way for as long as I could remember. "Ah, take it easy on him, Eldridge," Sheldon said, lifting his coffee cup to his lips. "Shoot, can't blame the kid for wanting to see what was under her shirt." He paused, a wide smile spreading across his face. "Far as I've ever been able to tell, Shayna is blessed in that regard." The laughter cut through the tension at the table. But my father was correct. She used me then and she was using me now. I just don't know how, why, or how. The judge stood and put a hand on my shoulder. "You can find me anything on the phone records. Give me a call." "Will do." He walked out of Delilah, saying goodbye to half the dine on his way out. "Call was on your cell?" Cedric asked. I nodded. "Okay. I know a guy who might be able to help." "Who?" "Doesn't matter," Cedric said, waving a hand in the air. "I'll see if he can come up with anything for you." "How's your head?" my father asked. "All right. Have a headache, but I'm fine." "Julian told your mother you were supposed to be home in bed," he said, but his tone was less sharp than before. "Yeah, well, keep it quiet then, all right? Your funeral, but will not upset my Julianne. Blah, blah, blah." Sheldon leaned across the table, his eyes darting around before settling on me. "Dude, seriously, one question." My father and Cedric smiled, knowing what was coming. Apparently I didn't. "Okay," I said. He leaned a little further across his plate. "Shayna, how blessed is she?"